My name's John Ferreira and I'm a photographer. I started with event photography, concerts, eventually turned into weddings, portraits, family sessions here and there, some engagement sessions. Started shooting concerts down in South Florida because I found out you could get free tickets. I was like, all right, cool, that sounds good. I was using my friend's cameras. I got super into shooting concerts, eventually shot Bonnaroo 1 year for a website. Started shooting more fest. I shot Forecastle Festival for this dude, Brian Hensley, in 2018. And he asked if I was a full-time photographer. I said no. He said, you should be. I said, okay. So I quit my job and then went on Google to figure out how to be a photographer. I was like, all right, cool. And I started charging nonsense in the beginning, like $20 an hour to shoot a wedding. And people hired me, and I let them know, like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And they're like, okay, we don't care. It's $20. And then I loved it. It was awesome. And it kind of took off. And then it became like an actual sustainable career at one point. Yeah, so that went well for 2.5, 3 years. Had some 30-ish booked a year. It was great. Then got a divorce out of nowhere. Ex-wife came to me one day and she's like, I don't think we should be together. I went into a deep depression. COVID hit. So this was December of 2019. COVID hit. Right after she told me she wanted the divorce. Depression skyrocketed. I was drinking a ton of that high-class El Toro tequila every day. Saw a lot of isolation. That spiraled into crack addiction, which didn't help much. I was still showing up to weddings, and I was shooting them. I was often late. The work wasn't as good as it could have been, and I would slowly edit. When you have 2-3 weddings every 2 weeks, that's a lot of pictures. So it's like 6,000 photos for 3 weddings, give or take. The work became unbearable to do. I couldn't focus long enough, and I would just find myself, I would come home, I would load the photos onto my computer. Eventually I pawned my computer and I would have to keep getting it out of the pawn shop. I pawned all my cameras. I kept having to get them out of the pawn shop, and I was doing that well for a little bit. I didn't show up for 2 weddings, which sucked. I knew that was like a big breaking point for me. Thankfully, I've refunded them. I've spoken to them since then and tried to make things right. My buddy, Andrew, who's one of my best friends, I've known him for like 12 or 13 years now, finally was the first person to just be like, dude, just get help. Go get help. So I did. I checked myself in a treatment center. The weight of so it was 36 weddings going into treatment that were unedited completely. And the weight of that was substantial, and I thought about it on a regular basis. I was like, how the am I going to do this? Like, I have no money, I have no car, I barely have clothes, and my friend Patrick up in Youngstown, who helped me get into that treatment center, lent me his very old shitty laptop, and I got a job driving for the rehab that I went through up there, and I just slowly started chipping away at it. Like 4 days ago, I officially finished every wedding. Everybody's been refunded. Everything's done. And the first few people that I reached out to, I was super nervous because I would hate me if I did that. And I was waiting on my wedding photos. Some people for 3 years, almost 3 years. And 99% of people were awesome. They were like, thank you so much. Not 99. 90% of people were awesome. And thank you. I told them what happened. I was like, this is what's going on. Here's your photos. I'm a piece of shit. I understand. I hope this is something. If there's anything else I could do, let me know. Most of them were stoked. I don't know what the future holds. So, redemption, I hope I did it. I don't know. There's probably that I'm missing. There's definitely holes that I left in people's lives. And I hate causing stress and misery for people that don't deserve it, but it happened. I can't do nothing about it except try and make it right. Redemption. A lot of shame you know, in trying to make it right, and that weight it had on me for a long time. And then path that I'm on now, I don't know, I work at a treatment center. I got a little over a year clean. Slowly want to get back into photography. I don't want to rush it. I'll do a gig here and there, get my feet wet again. But I don't know. Yeah.